Hello. So here I am in wonderful Dubai. Don't worry, I'll be back in the UK in October, so you'll get to see some crummy weather. I'm here at the beach because today I'm going to talk about a topic that's quite dear to my heart. Or I say dear to my heart, but is very, I can resonate with a lot, is alcohol and anxiety. What I want to get across in this video is how anxiety became the source of my drinking, but also became the source of my anxiety. So if you're anything like me, and I think you might be, because a lot of people that I've met that drink have a particular propensity towards anxiety. So what does that mean? Well, if you've got anxiety, no explanation is needed. If you don't have anxiety, then no explanation is enough, is it? I had terrible anxiety right from when I was a kid, and I didn't really know what to call it back then, but now I know that it's anxiety. And as I got into my adult life, this anxiety manifested in the sense of being like a social anxiety, or just a general, I think it was almost like a fear of being judged. It's very difficult to kind of pinpoint it, but it would make my world very small. Like I wouldn't go out, I wouldn't go places, I wouldn't do things. I would constantly change plans at the last minute. And then I discovered drinking. And what would happen is I'd have a couple of drinks, and lo and behold, I would be the life and soul of the party. I would feel much more confident. My anxiety was dispelled. And I knew instinctively, right from the word go, that this was going to be a problem. I knew that I was saving up a problem for later in life. But what did I do? You guessed it, nothing. I just carried on drinking. Now, at some point, and I can't even tell you when, but at some point that tipped over into alcohol becoming the source of my anxiety. Because I think, especially as you get older, you know what it's like. You have a couple of drinks, you wake up in the morning and you are super, super anxious, and you have that sort of, morning scaries that you get. And it's absolutely awful. That sick feeling in the pit of your stomach. You feel terrible, you've got a headache, you're dehydrated, but the worst bit of it is that anxiety where you're afraid of everything but afraid of nothing. And it's very difficult to describe, but it's absolutely debilitating. So the purpose of this video really is to let you know that there is another side to this. Now, is my anxiety 100% cured? No, but it's about 98% cured. So I still have a propensity towards anxiety, but I no longer use alcohol as the coping mechanism. And I think that is the key to all of this, is how you're managing your day-to-day life with anxiety. Could be depression as well, because, I think anxiety and depression, they tend to go hand in hand, don't they? If you're using alcohol to put out the fire of anxiety, you're kind of pouring petrol on that fire, which I'm guessing you already kind of know. I am here to tell you that there is a better way, that you can stop drinking. I am proof of this, that you can stop drinking and your anxiety can and will improve. You would literally be the first person in the history of the human race to stop drinking and their anxiety to get exponentially worse. Now, maybe medication's part of it as well, SSRIs or something, which I used to be a real hater of, really, but I'm actually a bit of an advocate for these days. But anyway, let's not get into the pharmaceutical side of things here. But I just wanted to let you know that you don't have to live the way you're living if anxiety is kind of controlling your life and you're using alcohol to manage it. Now, I was in a very outgoing sales job. I still have a business that is very sales driven, but I no longer need to have that alcohol in order to function. Because if you're out there in a sort of sales role, or you run a business, or even if you're like a lawyer or something like that, you're out with clients all the time and they will want to drink sometimes. But the surprising thing is when I stopped drinking and just said, no, I don't want to do that, you would be surprised how many people are only drinking because they think that's what they should do, or they're only drinking because you're drinking. But it's not sustainable, and it's not. And I'm in my 40s, and it was very, very difficult to actually get to a point where I was able to realize that I didn't need to be drinking. I didn't need to be pouring alcohol into my body to feel like a functioning member of society. And that's a good barometer. If you're drinking to get through something, then you know there's a problem. There is work to do. And if you want help, if you just want to talk, you can book a call with me below. I'm happy to have a chat with you. I'm happy to help you. You're welcome to come into the program. It's not for everybody, but it's quite a supportive community. I'm there. You have constant contact with me. You know, it's not just WhatsApp. We can do Zoom calls and stuff like that. You know, my goal is to get you functioning again and away from alcohol and not using it as a coping mechanism. If that sounds of interest, then book a call with me below. But before I go, let's see if we can go on a little walk around the beach. So I'm in a place in Dubai called Kite Beach. And let's see, I'm gonna hopefully put some B-roll up. And you can see why it's called Kite Beach, because unsurprisingly, there are people kite surfing. Also, whilst we're on this little walk and talk and talking about anxiety, I'm in my 40s, as I said earlier, and I started getting anxiety as a teenager. Now, it doesn't take a genius to realize that I've probably been spending 25, 30 years of my life in a state of anxiety. And I feel the concept of lost time in quite a big way. Now, it's fine because I'm not drinking, but if you're watching this and you're of a similar age, or you're younger, or hell, even if you're older, just think about that concept of lost time and how much different your life can and will be once you kind of knock the booze on the head. Because what you don't realize is that you're only about 2, 3, 4, let's be, pessimistic, 6 months away from actually being pretty much normal, back to that baseline. Think back to a time when you weren't anxious, or when you weren't dependent on drinking just to kind of get you through social encounters. That person will come back, and you're only really a few months away from that. And I know if it was as easy as watching a YouTube video, then you'd have done it by now. So if you're anything like me, you will probably need a bit of help. You'll probably need a bit of support. That's what the program's there for. That's what I do every day. And if you're interested, if you're willing, and if you're serious, then I can help you get your life back. If that sounds good, book a call with me below. Even if you don't sign up for the course and the program, that is absolutely fine. I'm here to help you. So I can send you away with a lot of things that worked for me. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.